with both YouTube and TikTok. So hopefully everyone can hear me and it makes sense. But this evening, my topic is why you deserve more than a life you settled for and what to do about it. Anyone relate to that? Hi, Julie. Thank you for joining. This isn't the life you imagined, is it? I know it hasn't been for what I imagined to be in my life. You work hard, you followed all the rules, you raised a family, paid your dues, gave your time, your blood, sweat, and tears at times as well. But if you're being honest, somewhere, deep down, there's this quiet little voice talking to us. Is this really all there is? You hear that little sound in your mind that talks to you even when you don't want it to. you know, Drop a comment like truth in the chat below if you've ever felt like this version of success doesn't feel like success at all. I know I've definitely would say experience that. Hi, MBS and Patriot. And DM Real. DM Real. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but thank you for joining. But, you know, regrets and missing out on too many things in your life. Anyone? Seriously. Regret doesn't always, you know, sound like failure. Sometimes it sounds like, I wished I'd done it sooner. I missed that trip because of work. I know those little mindset things go on in my mind. You know, I was there, but I wasn't really present. I know I went through that when my children were growing up. I would physically be there, but mentally I was still at work because I had to schedule, get back on time, so forth and so on. But, I should have, I could have, but drop me in the comments if anyone can relate to that in their life in the past or currently, if anybody else is experiencing that currently. But here's the secret. They never do. So what if instead of chasing someone else's timeline, you finally created your own, became your own master of your life? That's the way it should be. Let's shift the lens just for a second. In the 1970s, one income was enough that you could support a family of four or even five. I remember those days. Hi, Mickey Drew and different Mickey Ireland and Ken Ken, I think Ken Deming. I hope. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. And user 2771 and Betty. Thank you. And Randy. I had a brother named Randy. I won't forget that name. Anyway, but I remember those days because I raised my three little ones 3 years, under 3 years apart, babies. I was young back in the day too, and that's when we always had much more energy and so forth. But in reality, in the 70s, you could support a family with just a single income. Now, fast forward it to the current lifestyle and what's going on in our lives today. Most families need a minimum, seriously, of two incomes and still struggle. I know some people that are working three jobs, and that's still not enough. Everybody's at a different level in their life, a different cycle. However, the point I'm getting at is look at the shift from the 70s to 2024, 25, and further in the future, right? but we live in the most connected era in history. Yet, over 61% of Americans say they feel unfulfilled at work. That's really heartbreaking. Wouldn't you agree? Seriously, you know, let me know your thoughts. Anybody disagree with what I'm talking about? Please let me know. Share your thoughts. That's what this is all about, to communicate together. I'm just talking about what I see and what facts I've discovered. And I do a lot of research before I come on live. So I have some facts, not just babbling off the top of my head. I don't like to do that. Nunya, thank you for joining. I don't know who keeps swiping, but oh, thank you. That's a nice compliment. And thank you again for Larry for joining. I sincerely appreciate that. I don't mean to be turning my head, but I'm doing two channels at one time. And if anybody knew me personally, you would give me a gold star because I am zero techie. I mean, literally zero. But I learn every day, and that's the beauty of it. We're never too old to learn, right? I believe in that. Definitely. Ah, thank you, Nunya. I hope I'm none your business. Oh, so you're telling me none of my business, huh? I didn't take it personally, don't worry. But but we live in seriously the most connected era in history. But yet over 61% of Americans, and there's a huge percentage worldwide. I live in the United States, so I get a lot more of the facts for the United States. Not that I'm isolating other countries, because this is worldwide. I'm just giving you some of the facts where, the country I'm living in. But 61% of Americans say they feel unfulfilled at work. Can anyone agree with that? Do you all feel fulfilled with what you're doing? Are you happy? You satisfied? Or are you looking to build and have a better life while we're here? We're only here once, right? May as well make the most of it. But success has become a performance. What I mean is, we look successful, but feel literally exhausted. So many people wear a mask, just trying to cover it up. And often you can see beyond that mask on some people, but not everyone. No wonder people are literally breaking. No wonder people are saying, I can't do this anymore. I've known way too many people that are, it just, it breaks my heart when I think about on the grand scale picture of everything. It really is sad. I didn't start over because I was brave. I started over because I was tired of being numb. Plus, we couldn't survive on what we had solely. You know, Way too much stress, because financial stress can break you. And for some people, it can kill you, causes cancer. I mean, there are no out- outcomes with stress that are favorable. Seriously, definitely not. I wanted something that felt like mine again, that it's mine, and I didn't want to be another woman who looked back and said, hmm, I was so busy doing everything for everyone. I forgot to live. Anybody else ever gone through that? It's sad, because I know too many people that are experiencing that. Boy, that's a tongue twister. Try saying that 4 times real fast. I help so many people, and I still do. However, I neglect myself in the process. And numero uno should be, it's not being selfish, it's self care. Loving yourself can create and build so much better quality for so much more in your life as a person and for others. And also your family, definitely. Starting this business doesn't, just bring income. It brings peace, purpose, and time. That to me is worth gold. Having that, the peace, time, and feeling better about yourself overall and building your life. The alternative path and a very creative perspective, let me tell you what I have found. And bear with me for a moment. If I found a system that works while you sleep or you're out having fun, enjoying your life, not stressing over every little thing in your life, a message that pulls the right people towards you, not away from you, a process that feels like freedom, not pressure. Plus, freedom on my schedule as well, on my terms, my schedule versus a 9 to 5 job where you're doing everything that you're told to do and you get a menial salary and you're working a work dog. You're working so many hours a day. That this isn't about ditching your job tomorrow, though. That's not what I'm referring to. It's about building like a back door to reclaim your life, solutions and other options. And the best part, mm, it doesn't require you to become someone new. You're yourself. It just requires you to be brave enough to be yourself again. Drop freedom in the comments. If this hits home with any of you, let me know. Seriously, don't be afraid. Don't be shy. I won't hurt you. I promise. And I didn't cross my fingers. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, don't be afraid. I want to communicate and hear your feelings and thoughts. Maybe something I never even thought of. But this is for the people who smile at the barbecue, but cry on the drive home. The ones who are praised in glory at work, but feel like a stranger in their own life and home. This is for the 40 something wondering, is this it? Is that all there is to life? Or the 60-plus-year-old starting again, the retired woman or man who's not ready to be done. You're not behind. You're just finally waking up. Took me a while to wake up, that's for sure. Comment not done if you know there's still more ahead for you. Share that thought. Let me know. What I found was simple, not easy, it's not magic, but it's real. And that's what's more important than anything is being real. First time in my life, something actually works and allows me to get my life back on my own terms. I call it attraction marketing. It's how I create income by being fully myself. There's no hidden agenda here whatsoever with automation, purpose, and peace. And if you want it too, drop a yes in the comments and I'll personally send it, the system I use, to you. This is not a sales pitch. It's not a webinar. Just the same path I wish I had when I was stuck and younger when my children were growing up. You're not too old, too late, or too lost. You're just early in the second chapter. And it's time now to turn the page. That's the reality. And I've been really quite happy Now, with what I'm doing, I'm going to move so I don't have to keep turning my head. I'm just moving you over, guys, putting you on the same page. Hopefully, this is coming across where you can see and hear me. I'm just turning you a little bit. I hope that's better. Can you guys see me, gals? Let me know. But the reality is, we all, we're creatures of habit. We work, we eat, we sleep, and in the morning next, we do the same repeat job. We work, we eat, we sleep. And, it's just over and over. It's the same cycle. Where is the value if you're constantly going in circles, doing the same thing over and over and over again? History repeats itself. We all know that. Life doesn't change if we don't. If we keep doing what we've done before or try to reinvent the wheel, we're going to end up in the same lousy spot that we started in. I look at it this way, and how I looked at it is, we're now what, in April? Yeah, April, right? 2025. By doing nothing, no changes whatsoever, where do you think you'll be 6 months or a year from now? Wishing you did something sooner, or in the same rut that you may be in now? Uh, you know, and as I said, I'm not saying to anybody to quit your job or anything to like that. But I do know the 401 pensions are not built the way that they were back decades ago. Now, due to the fact that we live longer and so forth, and unfortunately, the pension wasn't created for us to live longer, just like Social Security wasn't either. When you think about it, it it's almost like they look forward to us passing on and starting new with somebody else. So, and I'm not saying that's the way it should be. All I'm saying is that something has to change. If you want to have a better life and build something that you have a, a good feeling about from inside your heart and soul for your family and yourself. I mean, seriously, how much free time do you get a day versus working? And it's the same routine over and over again. With the bills, they keep coming in, they're not going to go away. So that's why I chose to find a change, and I'm happy I did. I just wish that I had this opportunity years ago. However, wasn't there years ago. And when you think about it, AI, artificial intelligence, is replacing so many jobs, and we're just at the beginning stage of all of that that's happening. It's only going to get more and more replacements. So I think, everybody really needs to take focus on their life and have a plan B set up for yourself just in case something happens. Or maybe you are not happy doing what you're doing with your job or your career at this time. Perhaps you're earning good money, but you have no time to do all the things that you want to or would love to do, or you're missing those memories with your family. So, I mean, everything has a price to pay. So it's really the main reason why I got involved, and I watched for quite a while others and seeing many have success. And, it's not a matter of like, there's no guarantee, there's no get rich quick scheme. And anybody selling you something like that, you know, you may as well listen to all the fairy tales out there because that's not reality either. But what can help anybody is, if you're looking for a supplemental income or to increase your retirement or your pension that you're concerned about, or what happens if you're a two-part, husband and wife or a couple, and something happens to one of you. Will you have enough to sustain, or will you have to sell and uproot your life? So these are options that I gave a tremendous amount of consideration to before I even plunged into doing what I'm doing. And I had no clue what passive income or digital marketing or even multiple income streams, except I knew it was more than one. But how? How do you do that? So, but it doesn't matter. Six figure earners, high six figures, have no time, or they've extended themselves financially and need more money to cover that overhead that they created and thought would be wonderful until it came time for paydays and you had to take care of everything. That's why I was delighted when I found something to this nature that I'm doing because I work from home a couple hours a day for income producing business. And the rest of the day, I get to do what I want to do at my leisure because I own the business. I invested one time, small amount, and I own it. However, I'm not alone. I have the best training in the world and it's all included. So I'm just giving you options. Is it for everyone? No. However, it can be for a lot of people. That could be a remedy to situations that you're dealing with in your life right now, as I mentioned. And for families like moms or dads that are home or want to be home more often, this is a wonderful solution that you can have the best of both worlds, be with your family. But then there's those people that want to do something and build a form of a business because they don't want to just stay home and raise the kids because often I've heard so many times throughout my life that, the person that stays home raising the children, and then when they become an empty nester, they don't have any solution and they don't want to just hang home. But they, starting out later in life, what am I going to do? Because they don't have that foundation. Like I at least did real estate for decades, and I also did my family and took care of the children and did everything I could. Although I worked to the bone. I mean, I put in tons and tons of hours. I loved what I did. I made very good money until market crashes, especially in real estate. And once again, history repeats itself. It's coming again. In case nobody's been paying attention to what is happening in the economy, as I said, history repeats. That cycle's repeating itself and it's coming back. So I had to find something that I could do because I also have a health condition that I can't stand for long periods of time. So this became the best of all worlds for me. And there's 52,000 of us worldwide. And that's the beauty of it. So, does anybody have any questions that I could help and answer? And let me know if anybody that I'm doing two platforms at the same time. Is it, are you hearing what I'm saying? Is it clear as far as setting it up because as I said, I'm not techie. So this is new techie stuff for me that I try to figure out myself. But I hope that you're getting the best of, the sound, the visual, and so forth. But if anybody has a question, please don't hesitate, ask. Otherwise, check it out. If you're ready to see what I'm talking about, check it out for yourself. It doesn't cost you anything, and I'll send you the exact same system that I'm doing that I just love because it gives me time, financial freedom, and at my leisure when it's best and most comfortable for me to do. And that's the beauty for anybody. And it's worldwide. I don't have to call and bug anyone. That I love. In the meantime, I want to wish everyone a wonderful, blessed weekend. Hopefully, the weather will be in your favor. I mean, it's hot here today in Florida. Where is uh, you've got oh, what is, I don't know what that means. You've got a flash goal. Anybody? I'm not techie, so I don't know what that meant, but I'm not sure. And I'm afraid to click something because I don't know where. Not being techie, I don't know where it'll take me. But anyway, I want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend. I will be back Monday same time, same channel. And also check out the videos I've been posting. I've been doing a multi series every single day, and it's informative. And what I talk about is all different types of online businesses, the pros, the cons, what you will gain from something or what you won't gain from something. So they're on both TikTok and YouTube every day. So check it out. And they're not long. However, they're, very informative because I've done a lot of research and putting them all together. And I've got about, gosh, at least another 20 to go. So in the meantime, back to wishing everybody a blessed evening. And I will be back Monday, same time, same channel, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be safe and have a wonderful weekend as well. And thank you for all that have joined. I appreciate it too. Take care now. Bye bye.